God, I'm struggling to figure out how I'm going to handle this situation at work. These people getting on my nerves. Lord, guide my thoughts and just give me some clarity. Grace and peace, everyone, and welcome to Evolving with Brooke. I'm your virtual big sister, and this is a space for real talk, real faith, and real encouragement as we grow into the women that God has created us to be. So don't forget to like, to comment, and subscribe, and to share with a loved one that you know needs some encouragement. I'd love to hear from you, and the community of evolvers would as well. So without further ado, let's dive on in and let's evolve together. If you're new here, I'm Brooke, and I am super glad that you're joining me today. Today on the agenda, we will be diving into a daily devotional, which is how to stay rooted in God. And I think that this will be a great topic just to dive into as we enter into the Thanksgiving season. Happy Thanksgiving to all that are watching. I know that this will speak deeply to your heart, especially if you've been feeling overwhelmed or just unsteady in life's storms. Jeremiah 17 is a passage all about trust, confidence, and just staying firmly rooted in God. Let's go ahead and take a deep dive into Jeremiah and see how it can relate to our lives. Imagine yourself as a tree planted by a river, and its roots growing deep, and its leaves are always green, thriving even in the driest seasons. Doesn't that sound like a life that you want to live? Well, let's uncover how to make it happen. So Jeremiah 17:7-8 says, "Blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence is in him. They will be like a tree planted by the water that sends out its roots by the stream. It does not fear when heat comes. Its leaves are always green. It has no worries in a year of drought and never fails to bear fruit." So take a moment to let that sink in. Let it really, really nourish your spirit. And let's see how it can be really relevant to our own lives. I believe that God is showing us a vivid picture of what it looks like to put our total trust in him versus relying on other things that we can provide or others can provide. The tree planted by the water thrives no matter any circumstances, but a tree without roots, it withers and it fades. So I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. This passage reminds me that life will always bring heat, challenges, fear, and uncertainty. But the key isn't avoiding the heat. It's about staying connected to the stream. So let me ask you, where are your roots planted? Are they in God's word, or are they in temporary or unreliable sources? Other people's approval, financial stability, or even your own abilities. But trust in God equals life-giving stream, and trust in self equals withering roots. So when we trust in God, our confidence isn't shaken by what's happening around us. Even in the drought seasons of our lives, we can remain fruitful, we can remain joyful, and we can remain at peace. Now, let's talk about how we can stay rooted in God daily. So I want to share 3 simple yet powerful steps that have worked in my life and that continue to work in my life. Every morning, I write down 3 things that are trying to control me, that have worried my spirit, and I surrender them to God. And here's an example. Lord, I give you my anxiety about this meeting that I'm about to go into, my fear of failure, my family's needs. I trust you to take care of them, even when I don't see how. And so I repeat this even as often as I need throughout the day, especially when stress just tries to creep in. Number 2 is to memorize and meditate on scriptures. There's no way around it. So if you can't beat them, join them. And as you can tell by now, this channel is a Christian-based channel, and everything that I always talk about refers to through the scriptures. So I would recommend choosing Bible verses that remind you to depend on God, like ones like Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, which is trusting in the Lord with all your heart. And then Philippians 4, 6, and 7, which is do not be anxious about anything. And of course, I would want you guys to read it on your own. But when you start feeling overwhelmed, take a deep breath, pause, and simply recite those verses and just let them refocus your heart on the promises of God. And then 3, last and final, is a practice that I'd like to call small step surrender, or SSS. Throughout the day, for me, I just identify moments where I'm feeling tempted to rely on my own strength. And instead of just pushing through, I would pause and I would simply ask God to help me in that specific situation. For example, God, I'm struggling to figure out how I'm going to handle this situation at work. These people getting on my nerves. Lord, guide my thoughts and just give me some clarity. And so for me, over time, those small moments of surrender and help just build a habit of dependency on God. So that about wraps up this video. Thank you so much for joining me today as we took a time to deep dive into the practical ways of staying rooted in God. Also, if you haven't checked out my previous video about overcoming life's obstacles, then go ahead and check it out in the link above or in the description down below. And please check out my community tab that will give you guys updates on the channel. And I want it to be open dialogue so we can build community together and just evolve together as a whole. And also note that I post new videos every Wednesday and Friday. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video with a friend or loved one that may need some encouragement today. Until next time, stay rooted, stay grounded in God, and stay blessed.